What's up? Welcome back for another episode of the Currency Club. Today's special guest is my friend, my new friend, and I love this woman. She is a phenomenal woman, to say the least. According to her Instagram, she is a mom, a maven, and a mastermind, but she is so much more than that. She is a public speaker. She is a travel agent. She is a corporate career woman. She is a whole vibe, from the hair to the makeup to the wardrobe. She is everything. So she is also the founder of the H.O.T Mom Tribe and the creator of the North Star Visionary Planner. And her name is Amanda. What's up, Amanda?
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to be here. That was such a good introduction. I don't even know if I have anything better to say. But yes, I am a mom first. Out of all the titles and hats that I wear, that's probably the most important. And from that, I did found what I call the Hot Mom Tribe, which is a community for moms to really focus on being the best version of themselves. I learned after having my second child during a pandemic, literally like 30 days before the world shut down, that I really needed a community of women who really understood and got the challenges of, being ambitious, being a mom, trying to create balance. So I created the Hot Mom Tribe. We deserve to have it all as women and moms. We just need to focus on making sure that we get it. Like you said, I have other things that I focus on. I feel like I'm just a multifaceted mom that's super ambitious.
Tell them where you're located. Tell them what type of stuff you do to build this sense of community. Do you do events? Do you do
Absolutely.
speaking engagements? Do you do content creation for the hot moms?
So all of the above. So I am a Detroit native, born and raised. What up, though, to everyone from Detroit? My community, it is based out of Detroit, Michigan, but honestly, I do have people from across the country because a lot of it is virtual. So I have a virtual platform that you can tap into, a social network where we have different virtual events. So masterminds. Right now, we're in the middle of our accountability challenge. So we're meeting weekly to hold ourselves accountable to kind of focus on our goals and things that we want to accomplish for the quarter. But I also do in-person events. So a lot of different community events that are beyond the membership. So anyone really can tap in and they focus on, networking. So we had like a find your business bestie event, different happy hours. Actually, at the beginning of January, we had a planning workshop that was really intentional. That's where the mastermind comes in and helping people to develop strategy, not just for work, for your corporate job, but for your personal life. What do you want to accomplish? What are the steps to get there? It's really about finding your identity outside of motherhood. A lot of the times people in society, they make you feel like, okay, you're a mom. This is all that you can do now. You're limited. Once you become a mom, like your life is over. You no longer live for yourself. You always have to focus on other people, which is true, but you have to find yourself outside of motherhood. More than anything, that's what that community stands for. It's really for helping you to get back to yourself. So many times you hear people say they lost their self or they lost a part of themselves when they became a mom. So it's really about finding who you are and having that identity outside of motherhood. Being honest, open, and transparent is actually an acronym about some of those things that you struggle with so that you can have that identity and be fulfilled. The biggest thing with motherhood, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you're not able to really be fulfilled as an individual, then how great of a mother can you be? The community really focuses on pouring into yourself, chasing your dreams, not letting things go to the wayside because you're a mother, but really using that strength that you gain when you become a mother to make sure that you are able to still do everything that you set out to do.
Okay, so you just talked a little bit about women pouring into themselves. And I think that's really important for mothers and everyone else. What are some of your tips or recommendations?
I am a morning person. I am not a night owl whatsoever. 9:30, 10 o'clock. I don't know. You probably know. Sometimes you text me. I am asleep.
At 8
I
o'clock, y'all. This woman be sleeping at 8 o'clock, 8:30. I'm like, I know you probably sleep.
because I get up so early. So for me, finding time for myself. My time for myself is in the morning. My kids are still sleeping. I'm able to drink my coffee, drink my tea, write in my planner, plan out my day, identify what those things are that I want to accomplish for my day. So I think for me, starting my day on paper helps me to make sure that I'm able to focus on whatever it is that I want to do. With me, it's usually spending time on my business, but it could be cleaning your house, folding your clothes, like being able to ease into your day and instead of waking up and it's chaos, for me, is like a game changer. I love having my morning routine, being able to read my devotion every morning. That time alone is really critical for me. Other things is just making sure that you find something for yourself to do at least once a week. I actually just had this conversation on Facebook about like self care versus self maintenance because some stuff is not self care for me. Like getting my nails done does not feel like a luxury anymore. It feels like I have to do it, or I'm usually trying to find some time like between work or, when I don't have my kids. So finding, what it is that gets you relaxed. Now for me, it's going to get a facial because I can really detach myself. I built it into my budget. Like I'm on a membership, so I know I'm going to go get a facial every month because I'm paying for it. Finding that time, if it's 20 minutes, if it's taking a bath and locking the door so your kids don't bust in, like whatever it is, like finding something that really allows you to release because everybody needs time to themselves. But I understand the struggle. It's two full-time jobs, work and then parenting after work.
So I heard on the internet that being a mom, especially, is equivalent to working 90 hours a week. Do you
I
agree?
can believe it. Absolutely. Today was a day I worked. I have a 3-year-old and a 10-year-old. My 3-year-old stayed at home with me today during my work day. He wants to play. We went on a walk. I'm trying to work, trying to have meetings. When he left, I wanted to just sit there. My brain was hurting. So I can only imagine if he was to be here and I had him at home all day. That's why I go to sleep. By the time it's night, I'm like, I'm pooped. I'm tired. It's a lot. I mean, having to cook, help with homework, and my son is like 3 kids alone, so I have 4 kids because it's three of him and then one. Being a mom unleashes this type of superpower, and we just get it done.
So, if the people listening in to this podcast or this YouTube series want to engage with the Hot Mom Tribe, what should they do?
Follow us on Instagram. That's where we share all of the information about upcoming events, virtual events. You'll see some mom humor, some inspiration and motivation. And there's also the opportunity for you to join the memberships, a monthly membership where you have access, exclusive access to the events, discounts for some of the community events. So those are the events that anyone can attend. And then we have exclusive events for members. So that will be virtual meetups, in-person meetups if you are in the Metro Detroit area. We learn from one another. So we have people who are great with graphic design. We just had a graphic design class. We have fitness trainers. We're doing virtual workouts. Even if you aren't an entrepreneur, there's value. If you are an entrepreneur, there are resources for starting a business. If there's a book club, I can go on and on because now I'm thinking about it. Wow, we have this much going on, but it has grown a lot. The Hot Mom Tribe has been a membership for a little over 1 year, and we are at about 30 members. It's a lot of great content, a lot of great connections, being able to build those relationships. So, if you're really looking for a community of those like minded women, that's the key, right? It's go getters, it's people that are looking to create balance, people that are looking to really go after their dreams. So, they're very goal oriented moms. And if that's the type of community that you're looking for, that's what you can find in the monthly membership.
So, I want to transition and talk about another one of Amanda's talents, and that talent is public speaking. So, Amanda and I used to work together. We both work in
Yes.
the, yes, DEI space during the day, but Amanda was and is a very strong public speaker, workshop facilitator, just super passionate person, right? Who clearly has a gift. She's like this light in the room. Talk to them about your public speaking. On your Instagram, you like book me for a speaking engagement. What type of
Yes.
topics do you like to speak on?
Prior to my last role, because I don't work with Whitney anymore, unfortunately. Sad face. We do text and talk and keep up. But prior to working there, I had never did like public speaking professionally for work. My background is HR, so I always had some element of speaking. I did benefits, I did leave administration, so I did a little bit of training, and then I would do like open enrollment or new hire orientation. But that honestly was the extent of how much public speaking I did. Small groups when we would have, on board new hires. In the role that I worked previously in, I kind of was pushed to start speaking. I think I started and they were like, yeah, you have to do this training class. And I was like, I've never done training. but okay. So once I started doing training for work professionally, I just tapped into this skill that I never knew that I had. I always knew I liked to talk, never knew that I wanted to be a public speaker. So I would say over the past 2 years, doing a lot of different speaking engagements, not even just in Michigan, but across the country. And I think it just has helped me to identify another passion of helping to empower women. With my platform, with H.O.T Mom Tribe, I've done different events for myself or for others. And just speaking on motivating women, empowering women to go after their dreams and goals, understand their true worth and their identity outside of motherhood. Those are the types of events that I enjoy speaking on. I actually have an event coming up in Atlanta, Georgia, that I'll be speaking on, but it'll be in March of this year for the Boss Mom Summit. So being able to collaborate with someone else who has a mom community out of Atlanta, Georgia. And there are a lot of heavy hitters speaking on the platform. Sometimes I have a little imposter syndrome, like, oh, excuse me, y'all want me to speak? Who am I? I'm working through that. I'm still a work in progress. But yes, I love doing any type of event that empowers women, brings women together, allows women to collaborate and tap into our own potential and greatness. I'm all about collaboration over competition. So any way that I can collaborate with someone who has that same type of platform and community, I would love to be a part of it. I geek out about anything women empowerment and anything like planning.
So I want to talk now about being your authentic self, because when me and Amanda used to work together, she made this post on LinkedIn. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a little too authentic at work. And then she shared a
Mhm.
picture of her family, and then we had conversations behind the scenes. But let's talk about the importance of being your authentic self.
The role that I just left, I worked in that role for a little over 2 years. I did a little DE&I work just in my capacity of working in human resources. But I don't think it was until I had my role that I just left that I felt like I could be my authentic self at work. And it's kind of crazy. I think it was aligned with, the pandemic, maybe just coming into my own. That at the time I had my second kid and, just figuring out who I was as a person and getting my identity. But I would go to work and I mean, you build relationships with certain people so you could, be you with people that you got a relationship with. But I always felt like I had to be this corporate Amanda. Like, okay, I got to show up as this person, professional, so I could keep my job, keep my check. And then I think it was once the pandemic happened, working from home, you got to see a little more of people's home life. When it was the pandemic, and I had just had my child, like it was many times I would have my infant like on the meeting because at this point, this is what life is. It gave me that kind of go ahead to remove those barriers a little bit and be my authentic self. But I think working in the DE&I space in general was really that push because we talk about people really showing up as their authentic selves or being inclusive to people regardless of where they are in life. And I had to say, like, let me practice what I preach, right? I want to create this type of culture or, being a consultant, help clients create that type of culture for their team members. But I'm like, I don't know if I ever really feel like that. So I was like, hey, I'm going to be myself and see what happens. If they don't like me, I don't need to work here. That's just how I
Mhm.
kind of looked at it. I would get into meetings. I was eating hot Cheetos. They're like, "Are you eating hot Cheetos?" I'm like, I am. I'm eating some hot Cheetos. My work speaks for itself. The results speak for themselves. I am who I am, and so this is who I'm going to show up at work 100% of the time. And it's a
Mhm.
freeing thing. I don't think people always feel like that, especially being in corporate America. And I mean, having like real talk, being a Black woman in corporate America, and then being a younger Black woman. In my career, I feel like I've been the only Black person, the only Black woman, even at our job. At a point in time, I was the only Black woman. I was like, wait, I don't ever want to feel like I have to represent everybody. I can only represent me. And once I got that through my head, like, I'm not trying to be every Black woman. I'm just being Amanda. That's all I can be. And that's all I ever want to be. And people like authentic. I think you can tell the difference when somebody is being fake. I just got sick
Mhm.
of putting up that facade. I'm like, if they gonna fire me, oh well. Right?
Mhm.
Like they gonna fire me because of who I am, and that means I don't need to work there anyway.
I 100% agree. I didn't feel like I could be my authentic self at work until after I started working in the DEI space. but it wasn't even like early on in DEI. I still worked in DEI for like 5 years before I started bringing more of myself to work and talking the way that I would normally talk or dressed in the way that I wanted to dress or even like, different hairstyles. Like the job I had before this, I walked in there with bright red hair because I was modeling for my friend at the time who owned hair extensions. I had a closure sewing. It was bright red. It was like 22 inches. Just like I looked like a whole different person. And I caught them off guard. And they were like, "Oh, you changed your hair." And I was like, "Yep." And I was like, "Is it a problem?" They were like, "No, it's your hair. It's your choice." But I'm like, yes, finally, right? It's just like a sigh of relief when you can show the corporate world or the real world who you really are. I'm still not 100% my authentic self at work, but it's really because I don't trust people. So, right, I'll put up this wall. I'm still covering aspects of my personal life. Girl, I used to block my coworkers on Instagram. I just let a couple of them in literally yesterday. And I only let them in. I let them in yesterday because we're on this Black CRG. So, like at my job, I chair Black CRG, our colleague resource group. And yeah, I built relationships with people. They don't work in my same actual location. They in a whole other region. But yeah, they were cool. I'm like, okay, I feel like I can let them in, give them a window into my world. They said, "Girl, who are you?" I said, "A different person." I said, "A different person. It's outside Whitney and it's corporate Whitney."
Make a comment about the hair though, but I actually had like a pixie cut at one point in
Okay.
time. So I had like a super duper short cut. I didn't start growing it out until I was pregnant with my son. I wear weave. I switch my hair up a lot. I think having this bob has been the most consistent that I've been with my hair in a long, long time. But when I would put like extensions, weave, get a sew in, I remember I had got a quick weave and I was at work and they were like, "Now, how did they put that in?" Right. And it was pissing me off so much. And I was like, well, what they did was they braided my hair, then they put a stocking cap on it, and then they glued the dress. Cause I'm like, I'm so sick of y'all asking me. So when it got to the hair, like it's still a soft spot because you don't know anything about extensions whatsoever. That just frustrates me because I'm like, okay, now I didn't switch my hair. Like, did you really think my hair grew 22 inches in a night? Come on now.
Mm.
Sometimes I am conscious of how I wear my hair. That might be the only piece where I'm like not super authentic because like I want a 26-inch weave for my birthday. But then I'm like, I don't even feel like hearing their mouth or them asking me questions about what happened. So I think that might be one area where I'm not 100%. I might want to do something different or crazy or wild, but then in like a corporate set, I don't know what they gonna say. So I just feel like, okay, I'm just be a little more safe.
A little more reserved with the hairstyles. I can see why it could be a sensitive topic. And what's interesting about that is Black women are not the only women who wear hair extensions. It's like white
Right.
women wear them, Hispanics wear them, Indian women wear them. So I know, y'all know there's a whole process to this. And it's funny that you said your process because I literally did the same thing at the last job. Like I will wear quick weaves or sew-ins or whatever, and they will be asking me how my hair was different. And I was like, "You really want another process of like what happens when I sit in a salon chair?" They'd be so amazed. And I just be like, "You have Google. Like, is this a conversation starter for you? Do you feel like you're building a connection with me by talking about my hair? Like, what is the intent of you asking me these questions?"
Did you
Did I
see
watch?
people on
I
Netflix?
did.
That's what made
Which
me
one?
think about it because the mom when she was making the comment and she was like, "Okay, hold on." That's sometimes how I feel like it is. Are you trying to connect with like what do you really want to know about my hair for?
Yeah. Okay, so do you consider yourself a social media influencer?
Yes, I do. I do consider myself a social media influencer. Like I would like do stuff and then I would see people like, "Oh, now they're doing it." Right? And at first it would like frustrate me. Sometimes when people are trying to imitate, that's a form of flattery, but I didn't look at it like that before. More recently, I kind of tapped into like appreciating having influence and being able to motivate and empower people. Cause I kind of just looked at it separately. Like I'm thinking like, okay, I can verbally try to motivate people or send encouraging words, but not realizing like just my posts alone and my transparency was helping people. So I think I just changed and transitioned like what types of things I posted on social media and being more authentic, not just like what I'm wearing. I would get irritated and frustrated, like, oh, I wore this outfit and it's like, where did you get it from? And I'm like, this is my style. Right? Like, why you want to go buy an outfit that I bought? It took me a while to kind of appreciate having influence on social media, but it also made me more cognizant of like what I post. Yes, I'm now I guess owning or kind of accepting it, but it was a little weird at first because I was like, I just want to be. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, like having a podcast where you have to always be thinking about business and being conscious of certain things. Like I just want to be, and this was
Yes.
before like Hot Mom Tribe. Like, I don't want to feel like people are looking at me or that like I'm a role model. I don't know. It's like a big burden and it's a lot of responsibility.
So Amanda has some really cute content. I love the way she dresses and her fashion sense. And I'm one of them people who was like,
Yeah.
hey, where do you shop at? Your outfits are cute. And it's like classy meets professional meets trendy. And it's like she makes it work. Stuff you can wear in the office, but you can also wear the happy hour to the club afterwards if you wanted to. Like your style is very versatile. And I love that about you. And yeah, your content is lit on Instagram. And I didn't know if it was intentional with you wanting to be an influencer or if that's just who you are.
I didn't. I didn't set out to be like, hey, I'm gonna be an influencer. I definitely had to go back and like archive some stuff, some posts. I have not always been this person. Circa college. Oh yeah. Some of the posts was a little ratchet. I don't know if this ever happens to you, Whitney. Sometimes, like if I'm on Facebook and then a memory will pop up, I'm like, now why in the world did I post this?
Let me go
Why
ahead and
did I
delete that. Thank you for the reminder that I need to delete that. I am no longer that person anymore.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I mean, I feel like I had to go back, like, all right. I mean, you grow, you evolve. I went through a phase where I was trying to be like, oh, the people on social media or the other influencers. I see how people do it because it's like you follow these people, you see how like, oh, they get all these likes, or that's a cute outfit, or I want to wear this skanky outfit. Like, this not me, or what type of attention do you want to call? So it is a process, really intentional about kind of knowing who you are, not like intentional about being an influencer, but when you are authentic to who you are, I think people can recognize that and they appreciate that type of authenticity because sometimes people are going through the same things or feeling the same way, having the same question, but they are too embarrassed to speak out about it, like maybe publicly, because they try to put up this facade. I've had so many conversations with people on social media, and they're like, thank you for saying it, or thank you for sharing. This is something like people write me paragraphs I don't even know about things that, I might talk about. They are going through the same thing. And it's kind of crazy because we put up these facades of like our social media self or how we want to present. And I'm like, I'm just going to be me, right? And hopefully this will help other people.
So part of my goal with the Currency Club is to motivate and inspire people. So if you really do enjoy inspirational content, I do encourage you to check her out on Instagram. But I really appreciate the reels that you post because it's those transparent moments that you talk about. I want to shift and I want to talk about your business because you are the creator of the North Star Visionary Planner. Let's talk about it.
I say I'm a mom, I'm a maven, and I'm a mastermind. Professionally, I've worked in human resources. I've really focused on strategy and so really helping organizations identify, their goals and priorities and then their actions and tactics to get there. And I really geek out on that type of stuff. All my friends know, like if you tell me that you want to work on something or accomplish something, I'm going to sit there like, so what's the plan? How are we going to do it? Do you want me to help you? What do you want to do? And they're like, girl, I just want to do it. Like, I'm not trying to figure out all the tactical pieces, but that's how you accomplish your goals. So I feel like I've always been like that. I don't know if it was everywhere. I know in Detroit public schools, we used to get a planner in the beginning of the school year. You could write all your assignments down. I used to be so excited to get my planner because I really used mine. And I've just always been that way. I've been an event planner. I'm a travel agent. Like I'm that type of person. I need to know the goals, what we're supposed to be doing. I've probably spent thousands of dollars on planners, like going to Target, going to Five Below, like finding the perfect planner. And I could never find a planner that was created the way my brain processes planning out my day. So I created my own, and that is the North Star Visionary Planner. The name for North Star Visionary, it's really based on understanding true north of your life. So what's that North Star vision of your life that you have? It comes from, me being an ambitious mom and hearing some of the things from other women about understanding who they are, who they want to be, who they want to become. So the planner is a 6-month undated planner. It's a daily planner where you have a section that you can kind of identify what your focus block is going to be. I think that you should be taking action on your big ideas and goals every day. If it's something small, so just responding to an email, all the way to developing strategy, creating content. But that's the section where I'm writing down like what my focus block is. And then it has your to-dos, it has your daily gratitude, it has your daily affirmation. So it's a great planner. I'm biased, obviously, because I developed it. I use my planner every single day, and I start my day on paper because I got to get the stuff out of my head. I got to write it down, and it just helps me to know what my plan is for the day.
One other thing she didn't mention is that she has a little spot on there for meals. And I think that's very important, very intentional, because we're in this era where some people are like, they're going to meal prep. Or as she mentioned, she's a mom first, right? Amanda's a mom first. So she might need to plan her meals out for the day or for the week for her and her family. So
Especially working from home, right? Like, oh, I only have a couple minutes up in the morning if I write down what I'm going to eat. It's like I don't have to think about it or figure it out or waste my money on DoorDash, which I used to do all the time. I think that's another game changer, like planning it out, thinking about it beforehand so you don't have to figure it out on the fly.
So I want to get into the details of the planner. When did you launch this? Who did like the design work for it?
So I launched it in July of 2022. So I was a big procrastinator because I've been wanting to do a planner for a very long time. So I developed kind of like a mock up, and I did with some of my close friends. I'm like, okay, if I send y'all this, can you like test it out? Let me know. Do you like this? You know, the usability of it. Does it work for you? So I would say I started that maybe in the beginning of 2022, but I just created like a layout. So I just was kind of pulling like my favorite parts from my favorite planners. It was so many spaces in planners that I just didn't use. So I'm like, I'm wasting my money. I'm only using, certain parts of the planner. So I kind of created a layout just on Canva and made it a PDF. I shared it as a digital version with my friends, and I told them like, hey, this is how you use it on your phone or on your tablet. I think they probably really used it for like 2 weeks, but I gave it to them for like a month and asked them to give me feedback on it. And then from there, I kind of tweaked the layout, but actually ended up using a graphic designer to create it in a format for print, because apparently when you're printing a book, you have to have it in a certain format.
Print
It,
area, cut area. Yep, you do. Yeah, I know
yeah,
I wrote a book, so I know the
right.
process
I'm
too.
like, you would know. You wrote a book. So yeah, I had to get it in the start, in the print ready format. So I utilized a graphic designer that I actually found on Fiverr.
Fiverr?
Yep, on Fiverr. Yep. And she was great. Like I kind of already had everything created. I have quotes. So each week there's a different quote, to set the tone for your week. She created the front and back covers. And then I worked with a printer in China to get it printed.
I imagine there were some cost savings there.
Absolutely. I couldn't afford local. I was trying to work with local because they had like print on demand, but it is
Yeah.
so expensive. So I
Yep.
had to outsource it. It actually didn't take that long. I guess maybe because in 2020, 2022, they weren't facing all of those delays with shipping. I feel like
Mhm.
I got it within like a month. My printer was phenomenal. They sent me all the different videos of everything. I got a sample to use, and I looked through and inspected the sample for maybe a good 2 to 3 weeks before I ordered my shipment. It was not as difficult as I expected it. I was actually mad at myself for taking so long because I spent and wasted. I'll be honest, I wasted so much money. I paid like $500 for this course on creating a planner. And I was like, why did I pay $500 for this? It was all these modules. I mean, I think the biggest takeaway I took from it was like the paper thickness. Like, oh, you should use this thickness of paper so that it, it doesn't bleed through when you write. I say that to say, like, sometimes we feel like we have to be perfect or we got to learn from sometimes just do what you think feels right, because I wasted all this money to get somebody to teach me how to do it. And I already knew, what to do. I didn't need a $500 course to create a planner.
Okay, so you paid for this $500 course that you do not recommend. You bought all of your inventory up front because you got it from China. You had to pay the graphic designer on Fiverr. Did you
Yep.
have any other costs, like other startup costs that went into creating this?
Well, my virtual assistant created my Shopify, and then like taking, pictures, content for the website and for social media for my marketing.
Oh, let's talk about pictures because you have really good pictures and you have like,
Thank
it looks
you.
like an aesthetic where it's like this tangerine color. And I assume why that was intentional with your branding. So let's talk about the person behind that. Is that a woman? Is that a Black person? Can we promote their business? Will you
We can
share?
promote the business. She is not a Black woman. I don't know what
That's
I
okay.
don't I don't know what nationality she is. I know it's of Asian descent. I just don't know. I don't want to misquote because I have no idea. But no, her name
Okay.
is Dale. This is how I found Dale. So my homegirl, we actually both have planners. That's why you can collaborate and not compete with people, because it's like my really close friend and we both have planners, but we are really cool. We kind of help each other. She hit me up like, girl, this girl, she's doing like $40 photo shoots, right? You need to sign up. I'm like, oh, we didn't even know who it was. I'm like, oh, for sure. Send it, send it to me. I'm about to book. She's more of a lifestyle photographer. And I think that's why I love working with her, because I used to do like posy studio photography all the time. And I'm like, now what am I going to do with these pictures? Right. I felt like it wasn't real, super posy, like I'm a realtor. My friend sent it to me. I booked a photo shoot with her. And I think I booked another one. And then I just built this rapport. It definitely is intentional with the aesthetic, how I show up on my social media and my website. Just with this whole social media thing, people buy into the story. They want to know, like, what's your story, or is there something within you that they identify with? And that's where they build that connection. And that's why I think engagement on social media is so important, because you build those connections and you are a real person, but it's like making it more human, right? Person to person connection. Lifestyle photography works for me and my brand because people are able to say, oh, this is not just, a planner, like it's representing this type of lifestyle. And I can have this lifestyle if I get this planner.
You are selling a lifestyle, definitely. That's the best marketing for sure.
Okay.
They say, the internet says, you could tell a lot about a person based on what they spend their money on, like what they spend a bulk of their money on, each week, each month. So, what do you spend the most money on?
I'm sure shopping. 'Cause I don't shop for myself in person, but I am an impulsive shopper, but it's always in the middle of the night. I would like create carts. And then, with having an iPhone, it's so easy to check out without having your card, right? It's like Apple Pay, or your
Mhm.
credit card is saved to your phone or PayPal. I would just shop, shop, shop. And I don't know, between like 3 and 5 o'clock, I don't think rationally. So I'll just like check out, like whatever. And I'm like, dang it, why did I just spend all this money on clothes? Maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, it would have been DoorDash, because I was just so anti grocery store. And would I say skincare stuff? Maybe. I love Urban Skin RX and they keep having sales. I keep buying like facial stuff. That's my new kick. I mentioned it earlier. Like I'm a part of this membership to get a facial once a month. So I feel like I just keep buying new facial cleansers and toners and serums.
So now we're going to go back and talk about your business, the North Star Visionary Planner. And I want to talk to you about marketing because you got to sell some planners to make some money. I know you have a corporate
Absolutely.
job, but still, we want every dollar. What do you do to market your planner?
I will be transparent. I was kind of like, okay, the new year, I didn't really have to do much. Post, talk about it. It was the new year. Everybody was like, new year, new planner. I need to get my life together. And then after that, I kind of fell off the bandwagon. So, one of the things that I'm actually doing right now, I want to do it all, but I have recognized that I can't. So, I actually have a virtual assistant. I just brought her back onto my team. So I feel like I am a real businesswoman now. And that is something that my virtual assistant is working on owning. What we are working on, we actually just had a meeting last night. So, social media, obviously, that's the free platform that it brings in a lot of income. But I don't want to just have my whole business based off social media. So, we do email marketing. That's something that I have a lot of success with, not just selling the planner, saying, hey, it's on sale, but just, storytelling, showing value and how it can help solve the problem that most women and moms have. I think that has helped with the business in general, both with the Hot Mom Tribe and with the planner. But we're also looking at other sources. I personally do not like going to pop up shops, but the two times that I did it for the planner, I kind of sold out everything that I took. So I'm trying to figure out, get some energy, muster the energy up to start doing it again, even though it's not my favorite thing to do. Pinterest is a very untapped market for a lot of, I would say, Black women entrepreneurs. I love Pinterest. I probably have like 150, 200 boards on Pinterest. So I utilize it, but I don't utilize it to market or for my own business. So that's something that I'm learning and looking into. Also, Etsy. That's something that I don't think Black women utilize as much as we should. So I'm really trying to look at different sources and ways to market and think outside the box. Social media is always going to be a part of my marketing strategy, but I don't want it to be the only way. Instagram will be down, Twitter will be down. And then what? Definitely relying on building my email list, my email campaigns.
Even with social media, I feel like the algorithm will hide a post if they know that you're trying to sell something because they're trying to get you to pay for a sponsored ad. So that's another thing that's working against some entrepreneurs. You have to be very careful with the captions you use, the wording you use, even the text that might be in your pictures. Because if Facebook or Instagram figure it out that you're trying to sell something, they're going to hide your content and make it only visible to a small
Absolutely.
audience of people. So who is your target audience? I assume it's women and moms.
I think millennial moms, millennial women identify most, but a lot of them are entrepreneurs. I do a survey for new members of Hot Mom Tribe, and they can like check all of the things that apply to them. And I would say 90% of them also have businesses on the side. Naturally, that's me. I have a lot of sources of income in businesses, and I think that that's what I attract.
What is your number one tip for gaining new customers?
I always look at it really at anything like what's in it for me, but giving away valuable content with a freebie. I mean, some of my freebies, it's all kind of aligned to my business. So I do one every quarter. I gave away a Trello board. A Trello board was for planning your 2023. So the Trello template had all of the things that you need to be identifying to plan your best year for 2023. Got a lot of people downloading that and got them into the funnel. Some other things, I've written a couple e-guides, e-books that, and you still can go and access them if you go on the website. I did a time budget, so a way to budget your time so that you have time to do everything that you want to do. And I also did like a checklist, and that one is more for entrepreneurs. So a weekly checklist, how to make sure that you accomplish everything that you needed to do within your week. Giving away a valuable freebie will get people interested and into the funnel, get them on your email list, and then there you nurture them, and then you're able to sell something. That's the best way. And then you get return, especially if it's local people. Then they not only make a purchase, but they may join the membership or attend an event.
I want to switch it up and play another game with you. And
Okay.
this game is called For the Culture. Who or what is your favorite Black owned business?
The skin company at this point, because that's who's getting all my money. I feel like when I look at her, like I done bought every product y'all own. So it's Urban Skin RX. I will tell you, I'll be transparent. I have went through periods and phases where my skin will do the fool. Like I wake up like, oh my God, why is my skin breaking out like this? And I'm 30 plus. Theirs is for melanated skin. Their products are phenomenal.
Do you do affiliate marketing? Because I feel
I
like you
need
need to
to.
see if they have an affiliate program so you can get a percentage of whatever sales you generate to the business because you are
Absolutely.
endorsing it. What is your favorite TV show, movie, or series with a predominantly Black cast?
I am a reality show junkie, but I love Real Housewives. Potomac was just on that. I love Potomac. I feel like I like the black ones in Atlanta. So I lived in Atlanta. I went to school in Atlanta. Everybody used to joke like, "You think you're a Real Housewife of Atlanta?" I do. I love
And
Real
do.
Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac.
So I should have asked this sooner, but tell the audience where they can find your planner.
In the link in bio on both Hot Mom Tribe and on my personal page, which is Manda Fresh. You can find it on either one of my social media handles or on my Shopify site, but that link is also found in the bio.
So now let's talk a little bit about challenges because you do a lot. We talked about how she has a corporate career, even though we didn't talk a lot about that in this particular interview. But she also mentioned that she's a travel agent. She is the founder of the Hot Mom Tribe, motivational speaker, content creator.
The biggest one is creating balance. Sometimes I will go through phases where I am super motivated to do everything. And then I'm like being very disciplined with my time and I'm planning everything. And I'm like, oh, 5 o'clock, I'm going to wake up and do this, this, and this. And I'll do it. But then there are times it's ebbs and flows, right? Because then it's like, oh, I'm not working out. So now I'm on this workout kick. And then I'm like, okay, well, at 6 p.m. I'm going to do this. But then again, a mom first. So I still have to parent, right? I still got to take care of my kids and cook and spend time with them. Every day you have to just create balance. It's not like, hey, this is the key. If you do this, then you solve the problem. It's just every day being intentional about what is going to be a priority, then what can you not do? And being okay with not being able to do everything all the time. I think for me, that's always the biggest hurdle and challenge. And then, like I just said, not always being motivated to do certain things. I think right now that's kind of the phase that I'm in. beginning of the year, I was like, yes, I'm about to do everything. And then I did nothing. I haven't done much of anything in the last like 2 months. And I recognized I need to get my virtual assistant back. I had worked with her more project based, but I was like, I can't do everything and, be a good mom. So getting help, asking for help, receiving the help, you have to realize what you can and can't do and where you need to summon some help.
I actually really like that. I did another interview with Dre Wallace, aka Super Dre. She is the CEO of this like music tech company, but then she's also a DJ. And she talked about how I work so hard. I literally don't have time to go to the grocery store sometimes or to, do A, B, and C. So she talked about how I have to outsource whenever I can. I'm asking people for help. I'm delegating tasks if I can. I'm using meal delivery services, just, whatever she can to, like you said, help find that balance, but then just get some time back in her day. So
There's this
we
book that I read. I just have to say this because it really changed my mindset on how to run my business as a woman and as a mom, but I mean as a woman, period. And I highly recommend any female entrepreneurs to read it. It's by Rachel Rogers and it's called We Should All Be Millionaires. When I tell you, I might read the book again because she like slapped me and shook me like, how are you trying to run your business and think that you can do everything? So I highly recommend that. It really made me look at like getting help as an investment and not as like, oh, I can't afford to do it. I can't afford not to do it because when I'm trying to do everything on my own, like I'm going to be the reason that I don't make more money because I don't have the capacity to do it. She was so raw and real. I loved the book and there were so many gems. The biggest takeaway for me was that I need to invest in my business so that I can go to the next level.
You said I can't afford not to do it. I love that. Okay, so I know that every day is not a good day, right? You probably have some days where you stressed out or you tired or you just want to be by yourself. What song or album instantly puts you in a good mood?
I love Usher, my household, my kids, my 3-year-old. He knows
Okay.
Superstar by Usher. Even before he did the Tiny Desk concert, that's our song.
You from that era? We close in age. We both from that era.
Or some trap
uh,
music. When I was in college, I went to Clark, Atlanta. I graduated from college in 2011. So anything from 2007 to 2011, put on some Future Magic or anything, no hands, anything around that. I'm like, all right, I'm good to go. I got some
you
energy
with
now.
it. What is your greatest accomplishment for your business or brand?
I just had an event, a workshop. I won't say like it was a huge like, oh my God, I got so many accolades for me outside of professional career, like helping develop strategy and leading things. I led this workshop and it was something that I wanted to do for a very long time. Again, Hot Mom Tribe is only a little over a year old, but I always had this vision and plan to help women develop strategy. So it was something that I did like in practice, in theory with my friends, but I actually hosted a workshop that I was able to sell out and have women come. I created a workbook and I got so much great positive feedback. They're like, you should sell this workbook. Like, why did you get it to us for free? You need to create this and sell it. Hearing them say, like, oh my God, this was phenomenal. Anytime I do an event, that was always the accomplishment of hearing the great feedback. But I think that workshop was very near and dear to me because it was really like developing strategy, helping people to plan their life, really doing something that I love to do.
So what's next?
Transparently, I did just transition jobs if y'all haven't figured that much out. So I just started a new job and really getting kind of up to speed with my new job because it's still in DE&I, but it's a completely different scope of work from consulting and training. I think I kind of was extending myself grace of getting up to speed and what my focus was. I do have some events coming up. One of the things I would say the biggest thing that I want to accomplish in 2023 is to have a conference for Hot Mom Tribe and bring on different mom speakers. I'm thinking something TEDx style. Remember, we went to TEDx here in Detroit, and I
And
would
it was
love to do something.
good.
It was. So I would love to do something along those lines with different women and moms and female entrepreneurs pouring into one another, and they can all talk about their area of expertise. But I really would love to do something like that this year. So that's the plan. That's the goal. I don't have it all ironed out, but I will say that's one of my goals for this year to have some sort of conference where I can bring together a group of women and allow women to speak and share that platform.
I want to thank you for being here, being an amazing guest, your energy and everything that you shared. Now, I just need you to leave the viewers with an inspirational message.
But I think the biggest thing that we all need to know, not just women, not just moms, but everyone, is that you have to extend yourself grace. When it comes to creating balance, balance is not something that you find, it's something that you create. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. So you have to always extend yourself grace. Know that you are not perfect. If you're a mom, there's no such thing as a perfect mom. So just give it your all every single day. Some days will be better than others, but you get to wake up and do it again. Be a hot mom, be honest, open, and transparent, and keep fighting to become that North Star vision that you see for your life because you deserve to have it all and you can.
Love that. Love how you plugged both of your businesses seamlessly. So, yes, that was so good. And for everybody watching or listening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the club, and we will see you next time.